People said the Adisas live in a room, but that word was too generous. It was a single square space, one tiny window, one rusted fan that clicked like a typewriter, and a mattress the size of a prayer mat. You opened the door and bumped straight into their life. The room smelled of children, powder and sweat, and half-washed uniforms, and the ever-present stink of fresh pepper from the grinding machine that sat permanently in their corner, wrapped with a faded Ankara scarf. If you walked past their door at 5 a.m., you would hear it. The rhythmic kwa, kwa, kwa of pepper being pounded, the soft grunts of tired hands, and the shuffle of small feet waking up too early. This was Mama Risi's life. In the morning, she cleaned 3 houses back to back. In the afternoon, she ground pepper for anybody who came with 15 naira and a plastic bowl. In the evening, she sells rice and beans by lantern light. In the night, swelly belly again. Her husband, Mr. Adisa, was a prison warden, one of the most thankless jobs in the world. He left home before the sky would even wake up. Came back smelling like sweat, iron bars and worry. His uniform was permanently faded, his spirits too. Yet every year, there was another baby. At first, the children came like blessings. 1, then 2, then 3. Then it became a rhythm, a yearly event. By the time they reached 7 children, even their neighbors had stopped asking, "Is this your last one?" They simply said, "Which number is this one again?" Then came the first twins, 2 tiny girls who cried like they were being paid by the hour. 9 children. Mama Risi hardly slept. Her eyes were permanently red, like she had been crying even when she hadn't. Everyone said children were blessings, but blessings also needed beans and rice. At some point, the chaos grew too big for one room. Mama Risi did something she never thought she'd do. She started giving out her children, not selling, not abandoning, just distributing. Auntie Roke took one, Uncle Shegu took one, the pastor's wife took one just to help. A friend who sold provisions took another one as small help in the shop. A church sister took one because her house felt too quiet. The children were scattered like seed blown by a harmattan wind. Every Sunday, you would see one child sitting at the far left of the church with a foster guardian. Another at the right, another in the children's choir. They were the Adisa children. Everybody knew them. Everyone pitied them. No one wanted more of them. It wasn't the congregation that comforted them. It wasn't even the neighborhood elders. It was Pastor Samuel, quietly, gently in his office, behind the church. He asked them to sit. The silence in the office was thick. A Bible sat open on the table, not to Genesis, to Proverbs. The pastor cleared the truth. My children, multiplication without management becomes destruction. God blesses, yes, but God also expects wisdom. He did not raise his voice. He did not shame them. He spoke like someone trying to save 2 people drowning. They nodded. They promised to think about it. But that same year, she became pregnant again. This pregnancy was different. Her belly rose faster. Her ankles swelled. She was more tired, more distant. At the hospital, the nurse glanced at the scan and sighed. Madam, it's twins. Again. 11 children now, and the entire church was exhausted. Not from raising them, but from raising offering money for their food every year. The naming ceremonies had become yearly events. The women's fellowship had run out of baby names. The men's fellowship had run out of contributions. People didn't even say congratulations anymore. They said, God will help us. Then, slowly, painfully, like chickens coming home, the children were returned. One guardian said the boy was too talkative. Another complained that the girl ate too much. Another said the child was always sick. Another simply said, I cannot cope. One by one, they brought them back. Some children cried. Some looked confused. Some looked relieved. Some didn't even remember their parents. The house became a storm. Screaming, quarrels, hunger, death, spilled beans, torn uniforms, barefoot fights. One night, there were 11 children inside that tiny room, breathing the same hot air, sleeping on the same floor, turning in their sleep like restless waves. But when she looked around, sweat sticking to her blouse, her belly swollen with yet another pregnancy, it hit her. She had multiplied herself into misery. It was almost midnight. Everyone was asleep. The fan had stopped working again. The heat was thick. The room smelled of pepper, urine, and exhaustion. She sat on the floor, her hands shaking. God, if you give blessings, you must also give sense. But I didn't use my own. It was the first time she said it aloud. For the first time in years, her husband sat beside her, really sat, not just collapsed into sleep. Her voice cracked. We love children, but love is not enough. Their fingers touched. Two tired people finally facing the truth. The next morning, without telling anyone, she went to the local clinic near El Palo. The nurse took one long look at her sunken eyes, at her belly with its familiar roundness. You are here for family planning. She nodded. A deep nod, a heavy nod, a nod that carried 11 beds, 11 struggles, and 11 regrets. She chose the implants, something that would finally give her body rest, give her heart rest, and give her children rest. Moral of the story. This story isn't about shame. It's about waking up. It's about realizing that children need food, space, time, presence, peace, not just love and prayers. It's about understanding that you can take the Bible seriously, but you should not take verses blindly. Wisdom is no lack of faith. Family planning is not sin. It is stewardship. Their desires did not stop loving their children. They stopped hurting them with their choices. And for the first time, in that crowded little one room on Ipalo, for the first time in years, they are all breathed.
Thank you for listening to this tale. If you enjoyed this story, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves folk tales. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments who your favorite character was and why. Your support helps keep these stories alive. Until the next tale, stay curious, stay inspired.